and welcome to a Java tutorial on creating a GUI calculator. To begin, we are just going to create a private JFrame called frame equal to a new JFrame with the name of calculator. Just like that. Then we're going to import from JFrame here. And then we are going to define our frame attributes here. Frame.set our excuse me, exit on close, frame.set visible to true, frame.set size, set size to about 400 by 550, frame.set resizable to false here, and frame.set layout to null, just like that. So let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to do a private JText area called txt screen equal to a new JText area. The reason we're doing a JText area instead of a JText field is because JText areas you can append them instead of having to constantly overwrite what's in them. Next thing. Excuse me, txt screen attributes here, and then txt screen dot set size. We're going to set the size to how about 380 by about 100. How about? And txt screen dot set location to about 7 by 5. And then we have to add objects to screen here. And then frame dot add txt screen. Just like that. And let's see how that looks. Looks pretty good. Then we also want to say txt screen dot set editable to false because we want it to be only appendable by the buttons that we're about to put in place. So here we are going to define our number buttons, and I'm going to add in all the number buttons. And actually these can get kind of boring to add in, so I'll leave a little annotation to where you can skip to the video of me adding in all the buttons and operators, all the buttons basically, but don't skip past the equal sign part because that's where all the calculations are done. So I'm just going to create all the buttons here. So we're going to be private j button btn1 equal to a new j button with a string, or actually we're going to do 0 first because calculators have the number 0 on them. And then we're just going to do this through 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So we got all these buttons here, and then these are going to be our operator buttons here. And then same thing basically. This is going to call btn divide, and then btn mul, just mul for multiply. Don't want to get too specific here. btn sub for subtract, and then btn add. And actually we'll just change this to div to stay consistent. And then divide is going to be slash, multiply is going to be an asterisk, subtraction is going to be a subtraction, and addition is addition. Just like that, and then we can go about adding these to the screen just by doing frame.add btn0, and we're just going to add all of our buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to add btn div, btn mul, btn subtract, and btn add here. Okay, so now we can add all these to the screen, and we can go about creating them. So, first one, btn0. We're going to say btn0 dot set size. The size is going to be 100 by 50. And then btn0 dot set location. We're going to set this to the very bottom, so we're going to set it to about 250 by 390. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so that's like right there. We want to set it to be like right about here. Actually, I don't know if you'd see my mouse. So we're going to move it over to the left a little bit, so we'll make it 340, and then we'll increase this to about 420. Just like that. Okay, we can make it about 490 maybe. Make this 200, and we'll make this 490. Like that. Okay, that's too far. We need to make it more over here. And then we'll make this 70. Okay, we need to move it more to the right. See, this is why I hate doing buttons in Java, because it's a lot of guess and check. Okay, and then just move it up slightly, just like that. Okay, so now we have our 0 button. And then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think you know how calculators work, and then it goes divide, multiply, subtract, add, equals. And those are going to be the buttons that we're adding for today. So, but the first thing, btn0 dot add an action listener, a new action listener. Then we have to import from action listener, then add our unimplemented functions. So just space that out correctly. And then under here we just want to do txt screen dot append with 0. And that's about it for now. And actually up here we can create our calculation variables. And what we're going to do for our calculation variables, this will make more sense when we get into making the equals button, but we're going to have a string called str num1. That's going to be equal to nothing for now. Then we're going to have another string called str num2 equal to nothing for now. And then we are going to have an int called num1 equal to 0, int called num2 equal to 0. Then we are going, and I'm just going to space these out. Then we are also going to need a string array called statement, and we can just create that here. We'll get into this later when we create the equals button. So this string array will be our statement, and then we are going to do a string called str total, just like that. And yeah, okay, I think that's all we need for now. And actually, I don't like that spacing. Let's just make that all here. So make sure you have those variables. We're going to come back to them. I just want to make sure I don't forget those. But anyways, so now if we run our program here and then we click 0, you'll see that 0 appears in our text area over here. So pretty cool. And we could just do this for pretty much all the buttons. And then just change the locations, except it does this weird spacing thing, and I have no idea why. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we'll just change all these from 0 to 1, 1, 1. And then we also want to append it with 1, and then we can just, we want to actually move this one up a little bit and to the side. So we're going to make this, how about 50 and 40. How that looks, we want to get it to be like right about here. So I'm going to move that about 10, 10. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe just move it up a little bit, so like 380. Down 390. Alright, I'll make it 395 just to be absolutely sure. Okay, so now if we hit our 1, it'll append with 1. Hit our 0, it will append with 0. That's pretty cool. Next one we're going to do is our second button. So once again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to change all of these to btn2, 2, 2, 2, and append with 2. and we're just going to change the X position a little bit. We'll make this, how about 60? Okay, we gotta make it way farther than that. 100. 120. Okay, 120 seems to work. And then we're going to do 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, and then change these all to 3, 3, 3, 3. And then we're just going to set the X once again to a little bit farther, so we'll make this about 190. Actually, I'm just going to minimize the size a little bit. So we'll make these 90 by 50, just so they take up less room, so we have room for our operators on the side here. And then we can move button 1 to about 100, and then we'll move this one to... Actually, let's see how that looks. Okay. Let's try moving this over just a little bit. And then we'll move button 2 over a little bit as well. That's too far. 105. Okay, perfect. Just like that. So that, and we have our we have 4 buttons right now. And then we can copy these 3. And we have to fix the spacing for all these. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, then we can change these to 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5, and 6, 6, 6, 6, and 6. Here, and we can just increase the Y value. So, instead of being 395, we'll make it, how about 365? Let's see how that looks. 365, 365. Okay, we need to increase that just a little bit more. Let's make it 320, how about? 320, 320. Okay, that looks pretty good. Actually, I want to increase that just a little bit more. So we'll make that, how about 290? Okay, just copy that. Okay, that's too far. 310. Did I mess up? Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we could do this one more time. And then fix our spacing here. I have no idea why it does this. It's just really annoying. Maybe it's to discourage you from copying and pasting. But it's my own work, so it's not like it's plagiarizing. That's another thing, I didn't actually steal this from anyone. I did come up with this myself. I'm sure people have done things like this in the past, but I didn't just go online and look up how to make a calculator in Java. These are just based on my experiences with Java and other languages, basically. Oops. So, yeah. So, if I'm copying anyone, sorry. So 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, then 8, 8, 8, 8, and finally 9, 9, 9, 9, and actually did I change, I need to change these to 7, 8, and 9. Okay, then we just need to increase this. Let's make it like a 280. Actually, I'm just gonna do it to one of them to see how that looks. Okay. 260. Oh, whoops, actually, I think I'm increasing. increasing the wrong one. To 260, 240. I think I increased it just a little bit more than that. 220. A little bit. Okay, 230. So I don't know what's wrong with my voice. Okay, so we got all of the numbers working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But how do we actually make it function as a calculator? That is how... Well, first we have to add our operator buttons, and actually I'm going to center 0 or else it's going to really bug me. So I made this 10 over 0, I made 140 over, I don't know why. Or 10, I made that one 10, 105, how about? Just so that it all 105 by 3, wait, 105. Okay, that's better. And, okay. So lastly, we're going to add our operator buttons. So this is going to be btn multiply, or divide comes first. So then we're going to do btn divide, or we could probably just copy this over, right? Yeah. How come I didn't do the spacing thing? Whatever. btn divide, btn divide, btn divide, and it'll just add that to it. And then we are going to set the location to be about 100 by, we want to make it all the way over, 400, so let's just see how that looks. Not even on the screen. 400 by 100. Oh, we're going to make the x 300, and let's just try making it like 10 or something. Oh, it's up here, I can see it. 110. And we actually want to make these smaller. So this is going to be, how about 70. And then 60. Okay, that works. And then we could just move it over more and down some. So we'll make this 180. Okay, we want to move it down a little bit, or move it over to about 140, 110. Okay, it seems about good for now. And then oh, okay, I think the thing only happened when I copied over comments. btn mul, so we'll do the same thing, multiply, and then this will append that, and then we're just going to move it down, so make this, how about 210, oh, we have to make it way more than that, 240, 250, okay, 250 seems to work. And then we have to do our btn subtract. So, whoops. btn subtract, and then this will append to a subtract button here, and then we want to move this down to about 300. Just like that. Alright, maybe 320. Okay, looks good. Then lastly, btn add, btn add, and then it'll append to this, and then we'll make this, how about 410? Maybe just 400. Okay, 390, so you have enough room. Excuse me. Okay, so now we have enough room for our equal button. So that's going to be the most interesting part, is our equal button, because that's when we're going to actually implement a lot of these things. So then we are going to do our private j button btn equal to a new j button, and then this will just say equal, and I said h button, didn't I? Okay, and then we have to add it to our frame. So frame.add btn equal. Then for right now, our btn equal will just be like all the others, btn equal, and then change this to that, and we want to get rid of this actually. And the location is going to be about 430, 450, 460. Okay. So it's going to be 460. Okay, so now, do you remember the variables that we created earlier? We have our string strnum1, strnum2, and our string array here, as well as 2 integer numbers and a str total value. And actually, we need to do an int total val equal to 0, and then we want to instantiate all of these, that's why we're setting them to null basically. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to say if our txt screen dot contains, if it contains a let's do a division first. If it contains a division symbol, dot get text dot contains a division symbol. So if they are dividing, then we want to say that our statement will be equal to txt screen dot get text dot split. We have to do 2 backslashes here and then a forward slash, just so that way it knows that we are doing an escape sequence to a character we don't want to call anything. And then we are going to set strnum1 equal to our statement 0. It's going to be equal to the first part of the statement. And then strnum2 is equal to statement 1, second part of the statement. And then let's just divide this up here. And then then we're going to say our num1 is equal to integer dot parseInt strnum1. Num2 is equal to integer dot parseInt strnum2, and then say total value is equal to num1 plus num2, and then we want to say our str total is equal to integer dot toString of total value here. And then finally we want to set txt screen dot set text to our str total here. Okay, let's see if I messed up at all here. So we want to do 5. Oh, whoops, I meant to do divide first. And actually, let's do addition first, just because that's usually what I do. I was trying to follow the order, but okay. So let's do addition first. So we're going to do 5 plus 3 equals... Okay, that did not work. Let's try to figure out why. Okay, so when we go into here, if it contains a plus, let's debug this here. So we'll do system.out.println contains. Let's make sure that it's entering this here. So 3 plus 8 equals. Okay, so it's not even entering that one. So that's a little strange. Get text txt screen, so it is appending Maybe I have to do a double backslash for this one. 9 plus 3. Nope. Hmm. That's a little weird. Oh, whoops. So, when we're clicking on BTN... Oh! Whoops, I didn't add this to our equals here. Okay, I was wondering about that. Okay, so 9 plus 3 equals 12. 12 plus 3 equals 15. Okay, so our addition seems to work. So now we just have to do this for the rest. So then we'll do else if our txt screen dot get text it dot contains a subtraction sequence. Then we want to do this same thing here. Actually, let's just get rid of this. We'll do the same thing. And then we just want to split this at the subtraction here, and instead of adding, we want to subtract, and then we can copy this whole line here, put this down here, else if it contains a division, then we split at the division, and then we divide the two numbers, and then else if it contains a multiplication, then we split at the asterisks, and then we multiply the two numbers, just like that. So now we do 5 times 6 equals 30. That's right, yeah. Divided by 2 should equal 15, plus 50 equals 65. Okay, seems that everything works. Minus 62 equals 3. Let's see if it does negative numbers. I'm actually not sure. Negative 29. Okay, yeah. So all this code seems to work. Sorry, this was kind of long. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And all the source code will be down in the description, and see you next time. Bye.